I feel like, like a piece of crap, except using big boy words, that's going around and around in the toilet. Except the toilet's broken, right? The toilet's running. And if you know, with a running toilet, there's never enough water for it to actually go down. You're just spiraling in circles. It's kind of how I feel. Man, how I felt last night. How I feel right now. How I felt for months and months and months. I didn't just start in January when I started this thing. It's been the whole time. Man, it's taking a long time to process, the other 32 years of my life. Oh, gosh. It doesn't happen overnight, right? I mean, I went to chiropractic school, right? I didn't finish, but they don't just adjust one person once. You don't have just one adjustment in your life, right? You have to go back multiple times, depending on how much pain or how traumatic the event is. So, like in the way of a car crash, right? Like, so you get in a car crash, something pretty acute, like some like whiplash. It'll only take a few visits. It'll be pretty quick. You'll probably be there for maybe a couple months. But say like, well, being born a certain way, like me, right? You're born a piece of crap from the beginning, so you're already at that disadvantage. So trying to fix that or trying to come to an acceptance of that takes a lot longer, especially if you've been a piece of crap for most of your life, and you have kids thrown in the mix, and a divorce, and a bunch of changing of jobs, and anxiety and depression. There's like a lot to work through. So you're sitting there when you realize this, and there's nothing left to distract you. You start spiraling in this toilet, and you realize you've been spiraling for a long time. You just didn't notice you were the crap in the toilet. You thought you were the person trying to flush it, and things just not flushing. But really, you're the one that's in the toilet. And you're kind of the leftovers, right? That's what crap is. It's what the body didn't want, what the body couldn't absorb. So, that's the analogy. You're the stuff that society can't absorb. You're the defect. And you keep spiraling, trying to get thrown into the sewer system. Anyway, yeah, it's about right. At least that's how you feel pretty regularly. And, like I get up and do things to. I don't know. There's a lot of people that are successful at this, or I hear it's successful when you notice the spiraling starting to happen, and you get up and you go out and you go do something to take your mind off of it. Go to the store, do all this stuff. But I'm spiraling constantly. I'm spiraling on the way to the store. I'm spiraling in the store. So there's no escape. There is no escape from this. It's just never ending. Like my heartburn when I start drinking again. It's worth not drinking for right there. It's the perpetual heartburn. I mean, I excessively drink, yes. I'm excessive. And so I have to take breaks, otherwise I'm gonna die. Not sooner. It's sad because my dad is an alcoholic. And he's terrible. He drinks heavily. And he tells me about his health issues and how his life isn't going to be that much longer. Maybe 10 more years. Probably around early 70s, maybe before. Which is probably accurate. It's just sad that he's telling me these things. He doesn't stop, It's like that. Of course, I'm not stopping drinking either when he's telling me these things. Like I said, one of the excuses that I gave myself for doing it in the first place was so I could actually relate on him, because I'd never drank before I was 30, 30, 30, 32. For 32 years I was clean. Never had a drink. Then I'm like, well, my dad's gonna die soon. I might as well be able to drink with him. And I did. You know, I went on a trip. It was a week long. Just me, not my kids. And we drank the whole time together. We actually bonded for a little bit on that trip. I mean, now it's back to the normal where he doesn't come up to see me anymore. And I'm all alone. And he doesn't know what I'm dealing with, but that's okay. My mom knows what I'm dealing with. I've been open and told my mom that I'm going through this depression. Coincidentally, she's going through the same thing. So, but she's got people in the house, which check on her, which is good. I'm not too worried. But she, you know, I think she had mentioned that she had been suicidal one point in time. So I guess that's not out of reach for me. I mean, I'm not, but I don't know. I'm just into the self-harming stage. Not for any particular attention. Maybe I think it is just to cut my life shorter. Who knows? At an acceptable acceptable rate. Society acceptable rate. Because it's okay to kill ourselves slowly, just not quickly. Or so they say. Unless you've been in a lot of pain, then it's okay to, apparently. Or you're terminally ill, then it's okay to. I don't know. Or you're old and you've lived a long time, then it's okay to. So I don't know. I don't know what those things are. But I know there's a heavy genetic component behind depression, and I probably get it from my mom. I can't imagine my dad not being depressed. Why does he do the things he does? Like, I'm sure there's a heavy genetic component there. And then with the ADHD, you're already down in that depressed state as your baseline. So hey, you know, you're already thrown in the toilet from the get-go. It's easy now for the toilet to break and you just go around in circles. That's how it is. Like maybe let's take this a step further. Maybe the one that's suicidal and completes the task actually gets flushed. Me though, I'm that kind of broken where that's not an option, so I just swirl in the toilet. My gosh, that's terrible. It's terrible. I've been a psych nurse. I know what it is. I know how suicide works. And, you know, I've just been that depressed where I have of course I have compassion on those people. Like, I know what it feels like, you know? I know what it feels like to have nothing and to be hopeless. And, my only distraction of the day is talking in a mic. And even then, it's coming out. It's not like I'm not swirling around in the mic too, obviously. Sit here and have breakdowns all night. Man, last night was rough. Ugh. Waking up all claustrophobic, couldn't even breathe. I'm sure I'll have that again today. Except during the daytime, which is pretty normal and regular for me. Especially when I'm driving, man. You try to put music on, and when you just can't handle it anymore, you just shut everything off and you just stare. You can't even get mad at how bad people drive, because people drive really bad. We're like the second worst in the union or something like that. I don't know, but like you can't even get mad about that. And I'm a defensive driver, you know. I don't drive aggressively. I don't drive recklessly. Have I driven drunk? Yes. To my everlasting shame. But I think being a defensive driver has helped that to where I don't know. I think I made me a little bit safer on the road. I haven't been just pissed away drunk, though, doing it. I pass out, you know. That's why I like drinking at home. I don't go anywhere, you know. I don't like drinking in public. I don't like, you know what I mean? So, I'm still a piece of crap, though. Absolutely. 150%. and I'm not able to flush myself, which is so frustrating.